Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, everybody. It's Rod with POW Group, your home for MJ Stocks, crypto assets, news and interviews. It is Wednesday, August 6th. Happy hump day. Hope you're doing well. And in this video, we're going to do an earnings prep video for Curaleaf's upcoming Q2 2025 earnings. We'll go over the estimates like we normally do for revenue projections and then also EPS earnings per share. We did have Aurora and Trulieve earnings out today, and they were not great. They were bringing the sector down. But before we get to it, make sure to smash the like, help support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe. Tick the bell, you'll be notified on any future videos or want to go live. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. In full disclosure, I do own Curaleaf. It's my second biggest MJ portfolio holding. Follow us over on X as well, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. So jumping right into it, Curaleaf to report second quarter 2025 financial results after market close today, and that's going to be for the quarter ended June 30th. So we're going to have 420 sales on there like most, and after market close today they'll be doing the conference call, and that's going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So there's some overlap here. Let me know which live stream you'd like to see. I'll do my best to live stream it if I have time. I would like to live stream Curaleaf's the most, so we'll kind of get a consensus on what everybody thinks. And if you'd like to see me live stream Curaleaf, please let me know. So we'll go through the analyst estimates. We'll take a look at investing.com. Right now, that one's at 315.55 million USD. EPS, they're all forecasting negative, so negative 0.061. Still expecting a loss in terms of their operations. If we take a look at TradingView, 313.92 million and negative 0.065. And Mumu, based on 6 analysts, revenue 313.922, so fairly similar. And then same thing with EPS, negative 0.066. So everybody, all the analysts pretty much in agreement that we're going to have somewhere around the same numbers, and revenue projections forecasted at 314 million. So 314.464 million and negative 0.064 for EPS. So they're not expecting a huge loss, but a loss nonetheless, similar to last quarter. And I don't think they're going to be coming in with positive EPS. We know that Curaleaf is unlike any other MSO, right? They not only do they have the biggest footprint in the US, they are now a Canadian operator. They purchased Northern Green Canada, so now they're an MSO. They're an LP, so they're a producer in the US, they're a producer in Canada. They have the biggest footprint in the US, and they're also in international markets, right? They're in Germany, they're in Poland, they're in the UK, they're in all, all over, all parts of the world. They're all over, and a lot of other, like for example, like Green Thumb, they're not even in half of the US, right? They're not even outside of the US. So it's a very different business. I kind of compare Curaleaf to a Tilray. I would say they're probably the number 1 and number 2 biggest companies. In terms of Curaleaf's footprint in the US, I would say it's bigger, and then by revenue, obviously Curaleaf is bigger. But when it's all said and done, I think it's going to be a toss-up to see which one is the biggest and the big kahuna. But I've said this many times on the channel that there's one, if I had one wish in the MJ space, it would be for Tilray and Curaleaf to do a mega merger. Who knows, maybe it'll happen in the blue chip phase. I think the blue chip phase, like when we find out who the real winners are, like the Amazons, the Apples, the Microsofts of the MJ space, that's the blue chip phase. When that phase happens, that's when I think you're going to see these mega mergers. But I don't think the blue chip phase is going to happen until after the US legalizes at the federal level. You can't have the biggest economy in the world, biggest capital markets in the world sidelined, and then try to determine who these blue chip companies are, right? It just doesn't make any sense. It's probably going to take a few years after they legalize it at the federal level in the US. So we'll take a look at the chart here. We've had a monster move on Curaleaf, and if you're not looking at CURA on the TSX, you have to remember that it's also listed on the TSX now, which it was the second company to do so behind TerraSend. If you look at this chart, and if you're only following the OTC name, you didn't notice a critical support level. So we hit $1 psychological on the Canadian side on the TSX, and there's a lot of volume on the TSX, right? So you want to go where the volume is, but we had a clear double bottom here at 99 cents. So we we hit that multiple times. You could say a quadruple bottom at one point there. So it was playing off $1 support. That's a huge psychological level. And I don't know how many times I said to POW Group Private community members and just people in my comments, I said, Curaleaf near $1 here is an absolute steal. And that was on June 24th, and I was loading the boat as well. And here we are, just in 29 days, it's up 173%. We hit the high of the day today, 270. So we are we're overbought. We're extended here on the daily time frame. We just hit into the 80 threshold, so anything 70 and above is considered overbought. We're coming down now. We're sitting at 69, so we're just barely coming out of that. But if you zoom out, when in doubt, zoom out and look at the weekly. Like, we're not yet weekly overbought, but we're getting close. And then if we zoom out to the monthly time frame, we've got a long ways to go before we hit monthly overbought, but we did hit monthly MA12, so I wouldn't be surprised if we did see a bearish reaction to earnings. I was seeing the same thing with Aurora and Green Thumb, and it's kind of looking like more of the same. But actually, we did have a daily bull flag here. I just remembered that I drew this yesterday and mentioned it in the Power Group Private Community to members. You can see if you go from the swing low to swing high, we started daily consolidation, and it was very brief consolidation. Anything over the 0.32 at 174 was a potential for a daily bull flag, and we actually confirmed it. Then you just take your measured move there from the low to the high, move it out to your 0.32 fib, and it's saying 281 was the target. Today we hit 270. So in terms of percentage, we're less than 5% away, only about 4% away from that target there at 281. So I'm going to be more inclined to think that we're probably going to see a bearish reaction just because of how extended we are, overbought we are, and we already hit that daily bull flag target. Generally what happens is once you hit resistance and you see a big move, generally we start to go the other way. It'd be different if we had daily consolidation and we were holding the 0.32 fib into earnings, but we've already hit that, so I would say the odds are favoring a bearish reaction. We also already had the bullish triple thunder crossover on the POW algo alerts. So you would have got a notification when the price crossed above the 10-week moving average. The stochastic and the MACD crossed bullish as well. So that was the price was at around $1, and you would have been able to see over 100% of gains off of that POW algo alert alone. And speaking of which, for 48 hours I posted yesterday, it's going to be 50% off POW algo alerts. There'll be links for this in the description comment section, but you can just go to the YouTube page, click on posts, and the link will be there as well. That's less than 48 hours now, so you get 50% off the annual membership of POW Algo. But yeah, we had multiple buy alerts go off. The same thing went off on GTBIF. We had a bullish triple thunder crossover when the price went off. When that alert went off on GTBIF, the price was at $5, and then we saw a move all the way up to 770. So again, these POW Algo alerts are fantastic for timing entries and whatnot. But as you can see, we're not looking too bad here. We are bumping our head at the 50 weekly moving average, so we have an upper wick here forming. So again, this is typically where we find major levels of resistances, and based on the fact that we still haven't confirmed a monthly uptrend yet, we're pretty extended on the RSI and the weekly and the daily. I would anticipate more than likely a weekly higher low at some point and pull back into next week. On the daily time frame, we did get above all of our daily moving averages, but again, when you get above these averages and you get extended, we usually gravitate back towards them, and we are above the 200 daily moving average, which is very strong as well. We could see a golden cross over the next 2 weeks by the looks of it. I'd say maybe in a week, but I would say 2 is more realistic based on how far away the 50 at 103 is from the 200 at 137. But that's something to look forward to over the next couple of weeks, and I do think that we're going to see rescheduling initiative and movement. I think that they'll want to get that done very, very quickly into the fall. And again, crypto taking front center stage at the moment. They've got the Genius Act out of the way, stablecoin. Now they're working on market structure clarity, anti-CBDC, and then it's going to be MJ's time to shine, in my opinion. All right, let me know your thoughts and opinions on these numbers, your forecast. Do you think they're going to beat, miss? Always love hearing from you. It's Rod with Pow Group. Also, let me know if you'd like to see me live stream the conference call. And also, just as a reminder, I just posted the advanced course yesterday in the POW Academy. You can check out the links in the description. There'll be links for that as well. Put over 100 hours. I've been working on it for like the last 5 months and put over 100 hours into it. My goal was to basically put 15 to 20 years worth of experience into a course of around 10 to 15 hours. All right, enjoy the rest of your day. It's Rod with the Pow Group. Thanks again for joining us in the Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll catch you on the next one.